Next Legacy.
Are you searching for the perfect gift? Or do you just need a unique statement piece for yourself? Well, either way, Danaya Azure will help you out. What you need is the S3e2 jewelry collection by Danaya Azure Radio. S3e2 stands for strictly for a stage. Stand out at your next photo or video shoot. Snag that magazine cover. Go from being a part-time extra to an actor or actress who stays booked. Or just be the talk of the town at every event. Danaya Azure jewelry is handcrafted and Chicago made for men, women, and children. To start your collection, simply go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com.
Next Legacy.
I know a lot of people in this room, a lot of our businesses have evolved. When I first started, again, I started in honor of my brother, but I didn't know my real impact was going to be helping and empowering so many Black entrepreneurs. That naturally happened, but when I saw that happening, I adapted and I did more and more to support the community that was actually supporting us. So having that clear vision is key. Second, and Ms. Tequila Shabazz is about to come up momentarily and talk to you about that. She's going to get you all in order, another 7-figure business. She did 7-figure in less than 5 years, y'all. So you know she got the plan. Less than 5 years, she has a virtual company and built her business to over 7 figures. And she got, y'all gonna get her up here. She got what is it a 9-figure plan? She got a $100 million plan that she's working on. Second thing is the solid foundation of operations. So a question that somebody asked me years ago is, if you had to leave your business for 3 months, can it run without you? How many people in here would say that their business can run without them if they were gone 3 months? Okay, I think that's Mr. Larry Roberts, the Larry Robert College. That's why he's so successful. Everybody raise his hand. A multi-million-dollar company, several businesses. That's a real corporation. And I had to ask myself even that, because sometimes we are that secret sauce in our business, but you have to develop that as a plan. You have to figure out what's their roadmap. Why are they coming to Kiana? And you develop that as a formula, and you teach your staff that, because you can't do it all.
Right.
You might not be able to sell 1,000 products to get to that point. But if you have a team of 10, you can get to. So you have to learn how to duplicate yourself. Third, we're talking about culture. The who is more important than the how. So we have Freddie Taylor's going to come up and talk about that. Urban Intellectuals, again, multi-million-dollar business that's coming on the stage. He has multiple brands. He sold over $500,000 in product. $500,000 in actual products. So Black History cards. So he's talking about how does he build this infrastructure. It's the who. It's the people. It's the team. So we have to talk about culture and leadership. Financial stability. How many people look at their financial report on let's say a monthly basis? You look at your profit and loss. Okay, we got maybe about 10%. How many people know their numbers, like know how profitable they should be every month just to break even? I'm glad we're being honest today. Because how do we build a business that's making money and we don't even know how much we need to break even? That's what we have to do, the homework. Y'all call me the professor today. I know I'm not up here selling a lot of good fun and dreams, but I'm talking about serious because I've built this $1 million business and I'm around people who I've seen build $20, $30, $40 million business, and it takes attention. It takes really thinking about your business. It takes some of the non-fun stuff to get to the other side. We all want to take these trips to Bali and have fun, right? You got to do some work along the way, but find a brain around you to help you do that work. So do you know your numbers? And one thing my business coach told me a long time ago, and this was around the time that, we had 500,000. How long you been at 500,000? About 4 years. Well, she said, Kiana, if you're not growing, you're dying. And that hit me different because again, I'm 29, I'm $500,000 company. I didn't go to business school. I went to college, but I didn't go for that. So I'm proud. But the truth is, expenses go up every year, right? So that same $500,000 I was making 3 years ago ain't the same $500,000 now. And as I'm trying to grow, I need more people. So if I don't have more money coming into my company, then how am I actually going to ever scale? So you have to look at your numbers. We have to face it. We have to look at it. It ain't a fun picture, but the only way that you're going to fix, I think my pastor said this, Pastor Jamal, you can't fix what you won't face. You can't fix what you won't face. So look at your numbers, understand your numbers, and we're going to grow from there. The marketing and branding value. I love to say become indispensable. I use the Amazon logo because when you become indispensable, can they live without you? I don't care if you're selling cupcakes or consulting services. You should have a product or a service that somebody cannot live without. Everybody who's a WDB client, I'm looking at Nancy right there. You all know you can call us with 2 days. I got a conference coming up. I need a backdrop and I need some flyers. Can you get it done for us? And we're going to get it done for you as best as we can. We become indispensable to our customers. They know that we care about them beyond just themselves giving us money. Become indispensable. If whatever you sell, become the best. And I'm using Amazon because I'm in the audience. I see the Amazon box come every day. They become indispensable to almost everybody here. Now, it's a second thought. If you need something, I'm going to Amazon. They can get it to me. So think ahead of your customers. What can you be doing better? What would they need 2 years from now? Would they need it done faster? Would they need it done cheaper? Who are they looking at? Who is your competition? And what are they not doing well? So become indispensable. So that's probably the trick to WDB. I'm always thinking about how do we continually add value? How do we continually improve? Be paranoid about your business. I love to say that. They're going to leave me tomorrow if I don't figure out something today. That's how I look at my business. They're going to leave me tomorrow if I don't figure out something today. Never be cocky. Don't come in and say, well, I got the best product. So many people, I got the best. I've met 100 other people who do the same thing as you. It's not to say that you don't have the best, but be the best. Constantly show that and constantly evolve to it. And I think Uncle Remus, I don't know who was at the Legacy Talk last night. Anybody at the Legacy Talk? The founder of Uncle Remus came out and spoke, 97 years old. Talked about how he built this business over 60 years. And when we asked his secret, he said, I just tried to make real good chicken. I think the product is what sold it. That's when we talk about the value. Even with everything else, it was the product that kept people coming back. That's what to build your reputation. I got a little ahead of myself. That was the Uncle Remus example, and then I got Apple up here. So build a reputation of excellence because your people will meet the brand before they meet you. I meet so many people now, and it wasn't like this in the beginning. They see that WDB logo. I've seen that before. So what do they think about? Because they didn't meet Kiana. They saw the brand first. So build a reputation of excellence. What are people saying about you? People are going to talk about the brand. And we all know bad news spread faster than good news. And Apple, I use that because there's so many Apple loyalists in there. Whatever Apple put out, people buying, right? That they build that reputation of excellence. So how can you build your brand to be like Apple? It's not impossible. We the same as Steve Jobs. And then finally, build for the future. So I use this beautiful power couple as an example, but not only do I know them and I know their journey. How many people recognize this couple in here? A few people. So this is Monique and Melvin Rodriguez of Mayel Organics. So they have one of the largest Black-owned hair care companies in the world. They're right here from Illinois. Matter of fact, they're right here from Harvey. We went to the same high school. So the reason why I talk about building for the future, what does partnership look like? James talked about me and him partnered together. WDB would be where it is at if we had to partner. He brought the manufacturing. We're stronger together. You may not be able to do this all the time on your own. What does partnership look like? What does mergers look like? Black businesses have to let go of brand ego. Everybody want to have their own. I got my own nonprofit. I got my own this. Sometimes we're stronger together. They might be good in the books and you might be good at doing the marketing. So you all both making 100,000 by yourself, but together you can make $1 million. Who want $1 million or 100,000? Who want 100,000 by themselves? Don't raise your hand, huh? Who want $1 million? Who want $1 million together? We want $1 million together, right? We want $1 million together, and WDB is an example of that. I was by myself. James had his own company called Leah Visual. We saw that we were both aiming towards the same thing. We would both create dynamic brands for Black-owned businesses. We said it may make sense for us to do this together. I had a lot of, at the time, I had 300-400 customers on my own. He had the quality, he had the vision for production. We came together, and that's why WDB is a multi-million-dollar brand right now. Yeah. That's how we even able to put on events like the Legacy Awards. If I was by myself, I may not be able to do it. But partnership, you can clap for that partnership, brought this event together. Collaborate, brought this event together, and let brand ego go. And I use my Yale Organics as an example because a lot of people know them, that although they sold part of their business for over $100 million, part of it, been in business less than 10 years, they still kept majority ownership. So that's what legacy looked like to me. I don't know about y'all. I know they talk about selling the business, and yes, you want to keep it, but do your kids want to take it over? If not, is legacy selling, but now you create generational wealth. Now you create multiple businesses that also go on to impact the community, employ other people. So I ask you this, and I'm going to leave you all with that. One, if you had to say your business today, what would it be worth? And finally, what will your legacy be? That's it. Every logo up here is a family name. Versace, Prada, is it Michael Dell, Chanel, all of these brands that we wear, all of these electronics that we see, Lamborghini, these are family brands. They had the vision, they worked on the vision. They were clear about what they needed to do, and they passed on something that has lasted a lot of these brands over 100 generations. So that's what I want you all to think about today. We're gonna get ready to get started with this first panel. What will your legacy be? And on that note, y'all ready to enjoy this conference? Builder.
I am a legacy builder.
Now say it with your chest. I am a legacy builder.
I am a legacy builder.
All right, so the 5 P's that we are going to get into today, the first one is purpose. Okay? It's the why. It is the heartbeat of why you do what you do. And this is what's going to keep you going when life be life. Because life always going to be life.
Look.
And I'm a coach, right? So people be like, this, what happened? See, my dog, okay. And tomorrow is going to bring another problem. And another problem, and another problem. But business don't care about your feelings. Your customers don't care about your feelings. So you need to have strong purpose. And for the sake of the 5 P's, under purpose is also your mission, your vision, your values. Okay? This is the heartbeat of your business. You have to have a plan. I'm missing an end. But you have to have a plan, okay? The plan is the what and the when. The what and the when. A lot of us, we real good at what we do, like, ooh, I make a bomb caramel cake, and everybody want to buy them, and it's like, okay, now everybody buying, what's your plan? What you doing, when you doing it. You have to stop. Take time to work on your business and build a plan if you are working to scale to a 10-figure business. We ain't talking 7-figure business, we talking 10-figure businesses. Okay? The process is how. How are you actually going to do it? Because some of us, if you're anything like me, I'm a big visionary, a big dreamer, right? You have to know how when you say the plan that you put out. How we getting there? How are we getting there? You need to think specifically about how you're going to get there. And this one right here, my little coaches, they be like, man, what think? I'm telling you, I'm gonna just make $2 billion. Just believe me. How we doing it? How we getting there? The people, here it is. Who do you need to be aligning yourself with? And I'm not just talking about team, I'm talking about family, I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about team, I'm talking about communities and networks that you're a part of, where you're spending your time, who you're spending your time with. It matters because either they're adding to your success or they're taking away from it. You best believe that. That's a legacy. I'm cheering my cell phone up here, okay? And prosperity, that's where you're going. Now, see, under prosperity, of course, is profitability, but success is subjective. Success is one of those things where it can look like, I just want to travel the world and live comfortably. That may be where you're going. Success may be, I want to be able to pay for my children to go to college and then be able to set up a retirement fund and live comfortably. That's what success look like. Or if you're like me, you're like, I'm about to sell this business in 10 years at 10 figures, okay? Prosperity looks different for everybody. Now let's get into why this is important. I love this business. Let's talk about over the past 4 years, there has been more business growth in any other time of recorded history. right? This is right after COVID. In 2020, we saw 4.4 million businesses started. In 2021, we saw 5.4 million businesses started. In 2022, we saw 5 million. In 2023, we saw 5.5. It is a revolution going on right now. You know more entrepreneurs and business owners than you've ever had. People probably never thought would be business owners, but this is where we're headed. The future is in a B2B workforce. Y'all know what I mean by that?
Yep.
That means my business gonna be doing business with your business. I'm not gonna be able to be like, oh, look, I have a job description out here for, the next person I'm looking to hire. Now you have to put an RFP out. You understand? Because every person, the way that they became a brand, has now become a business. Everybody is moving towards self-employment. Matter of fact, in the next 5 years, 50% of the workforce, 85 million people, will be self-employed.
Wow.
This is where we're going. And this is why it's important that you understand how to do good business. Because if you don't know how to do good business, you can't hide behind the company that you work for now, if indeed y'all work. You have to stand on business, like that little boy said. I don't know why is this important for all? Look. 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. So that means if there's 100 businesses in this room, show a hand, how many of you have businesses? That's pretty much everybody. So if 100 businesses are in this room right now, that means that in 5 years, let's just say y'all all started your business now. In 5 years, only 20 key businesses will still be standing. So we started off with 100. So in 5 more years, 20 of y'all will be here. And the next 6 to 10 years, 90% of those businesses fail. Okay, so that means that in 10 years, this is 2024, 2044, only 2 of y'all will still be standing. Look around now.
Wow.
If every single business, if there's 100 people in here, only 2 would actually be standing. And if I'm in the run and I'm one of the 2, I'm gonna be standing, okay? You're going up against somebody who eats, sleep, live, and is full of faith with their business. Now, while new businesses are most likely to fail within the first 10 businesses, you know which businesses are most likely to succeed with a 70% success rate? Franchise businesses. Why do you think that is? Shout it out, anybody. What was it? Blueprint. Ooh, systems. Ooh, you know it because they got it. And most of us are starting our businesses off a hustle. I can make these caramel cakes real good, so I'm just gonna go ahead and explain these real quick. But you have no blueprint, you have no system, you're not documenting anything at all. So let's look. What's the difference between your business model and the franchise? They also have a clear purpose. They know exactly why they're doing what they're doing. Chick-fil-A, I don't care if you go to the one here or you go to one in Texas. A purpose is the same. Everybody is operating off of the same purpose. They're operating off of the same plan. Somebody said a blueprint. They have a blueprint to follow. So as soon as you buy a Chick-fil-A, you are given the blueprint to follow in order to be successful. The next is they have efficient processes. This is how we gonna make this real good chicken sandwich. This is how we gonna make these waffle fries every single time. This is how we're going to greet our customers every single time they show up. That customer service be bomb. Okay? And they know, I say a people avatar, they know exactly who you are as their customer, and they know exactly who they need to hire and bring aboard. Okay? So they're real clear about the people they need to be aligned with. And then they have proven profitability. So if I spend $25,000, whatever it is, on the Chick-fil-A, I know that I'm going to 10x, what I invested. My return on investment is going to be great. Now, why is this important to the Black community?
Because it leaves a legacy.
Oh, we about to get into it. I'm just going to give y'all a quick screenshot, okay? There are 33 million plus businesses. Only 3.12 million of those are Black-owned businesses. We generate about $141.1 billion in net revenue. which is an 11% increase since 2017, considering that we, Black people, specifically Black women, have led in starting businesses more than any other group of people in this country. So right now, we're carrying it, ladies, we're carrying it. Now, the problem is that only 2.4% of these businesses, of the 3.12, have employees. So that means that most of us are working alone. How many of y'all work by yourself? Don't have a team? Okay. I'm proud. That means some of y'all out here getting team members. I love it. Okay. 2.6, I don't know what happened to my PowerPoint with the transfer, but 2.6 million are Black women-owned business. But here's this number. 68% are micro businesses. You know what a micro business is?
Super small and not making enough.
It's small. That means that they don't make more than $250,000 a year. And for some people, they're like, oh, that's good. $250,000. Y'all good with $250,000? No. You heard Kiana speak that earlier. But 68% of Black women-owned businesses are micro businesses. So our businesses are super small, don't make over $250,000, and most likely don't have teams. So we typically out here on that superwoman, independent woman thing, running our businesses, not hiring the help that we need, and we are not able to scale in that way. Another quick, why is this important to us? 2017, it was stated that the median wealth for Black Americans will fall to $0 by 2053. Who believe that? Y'all believe that? I thought you was a legacy builder, though.
A lot of people don't own their homes or buy their homes, they rent.
Yeah, but we legacy builders, right?
Yeah.
We're sitting here, so that means that this thing can change around. This is a statistic that they say, but guess what happened? COVID happened. And when COVID happened, actually, Black families' net worth has actually grown. We started more businesses. This stat, that 20 said that happened before, that stat came out before COVID, but COVID changed things around for our community. We started buying more real estate. We started starting more businesses. So now we're on an upward trajectory, and we just got to keep that going by being very strategic in the way that we operate and handle and do business. So it was stated that if we focus on these 4 things, we can actually take complete control of the growth in our businesses and our community. The first one is real estate. Somebody said that. Second one is income. Third one is 401ks. The other stocks and investment. How many of y'all was on for virtual day yesterday? You heard I was talking about the investments and getting involved in that. We have to do that. Today I'm here to talk about business. Now this is going to get real personal. I don't want no teary eyes, and excuse me if I get a little emotional. But why is this important for you? That's me, pregnant with the 1-year-old. God's surprise baby for me. I thought it was menopause, y'all. I was in denial for a while, but it was not. It was my little Yemi. And here I am, full-fledged pregnant. I gave birth a few weeks later. This is me also. Jesus. I almost died during childbirth. I did not get to see my baby for a few days. I was out. Birth went fine, but as soon as she was here, I was not. And my husband had to make a lot of life decisions for me. That meant I was out of my business for months. That's Yemi. So I was out for about 4 months. 4+ months from my business. How many of y'all can be out of your business for 4+ months and still make money? How many? I'm just show of hands. That's 1 person, 2 people in this room. That means that if you would have experienced what I experienced or anything close to what I experienced and anything life-altering, you would have lost everything you worked really hard to build. Because if you are not able to walk away from your business, that means that you do not have a team. You do not have plans, processes, systems in place that allows you to walk away when you need to walk away. What kept me aware of what was going on in my business is I have data, which is very important as well. But I'm back now. I'm here. I'm on this stage. And we're about to get into this lesson today. Okay. First thing, I have a personal mission to help businesses improve and come up with fail-proof plans, efficient processes, the right people, consistent profitability and prosperity. The first thing about purpose is, and I want you to write this down, there's a section in your books where you can, or you can write it on a paper, you can do it in your phone, you can do whatever it is. The purpose, I want you to answer why you are doing what you do. Answer, just answer it as I'm talking, think about it. And the exercise in the book actually guides you through this. I want you to list up to 3 reasons why you do what you do. And tell me why it matters. And what happens if you don't do it? Why are you the person that have to do what it is that you say you've been set out to do? So for example, for me, now that we are starting businesses faster than any other time in recorded history, I want small businesses, especially Black-owned businesses, to live and thrive in intentionality, order, efficiency, and support, helping to bolster our economy and improve lives for greatness to come. That's my purpose for doing what it is that I do. I'm very clear. Some of us be like, because I want to make some money. Guess what? As soon as you ain't making no money, you're running back to somebody's job. So your purpose has to be bigger and greater than just money. Your vision has to be big. It has to match your faith. We just heard that. The big picture, where are you going with your business, short term and long term? So first start with your long term. What is the long term vision? I'm gonna give you an example up here. Right, so by 2035 for me, I want to have the largest social platform for the emerging business-centric workforce. I want to have 10 million subscribers on that platform. I want to double the 5-year lifespan of new businesses from 20 to 40%. Okay? I want to be valued and sold at 10 figures in revenue. I want to retire with a 9-figure payout, some shares, and a board seat at my company. You see how specific that vision is? You have to be very specific with your vision. Just start writing some bullets down of what your vision, where you're going, where you see yourself. Because a lot of us, I say, where do you plan on being in 10 years? And like, I don't even know where I'm gonna be in the next 10 months. I'm just trying to make money. And there is absolutely no way that you can run a business without knowing where you're going, because you'll just be going in circles over and over and over again. So the long-term professional goal is to be the largest global AI-enabled social platform designed to support the emerging B2B workforce with opportunity matchmaking, resources, upskilling, scaling, and management tools, right? So that's the long term for me, right? The first one was my vision that I see for my business and myself. What kind of life do I want to live? How do I now take that and make it into a long-term vision for my professional long-term vision, and then a short-term, what do I have to achieve in the next year to make that happen? Because if you know where you're going in 10 years, what do I have to be doing right now to make that happen? And so that means I have to launch and test phase 1 of this app as a prototype. So I'm giving you an example. So write the 10-year and base your vision off of how you want to live your life and what you want your company to achieve. And then break that down into what do I have to be doing right now to make that happen. So in your workbook, it asks, what's the big vision for your life? And how will your work get you there? Where are you headed? Get specific, spare no detail, be very, very, very detailed in this. Most of us are not. This also includes your mission. How many of you have a mission for your business? Okay, pretty good. What is your product or service, for whom, and the impact it will have? Example, to help increase the lifespan and revenue of small business owners through proper planning, process efficiency, and quality connections, whether that be with talent, clients, or partners. That's my mission. It's clear. It's to the point. What is your product or service? This is what your mission answers. What is your product or service? Who do you serve? And how does your product or service improve the lives of your clients? What is the impact that you're going to have? All of this is in your workbook. Your values. This is so important. How many of you like working for yourself? Yeah, that pay real good. That time off is, you get all the PTO, them health benefits. They cracking, ain't they? You working, what, 20, 40 hours, or are you working 80 hours? A lot of times I ask people, do you like working for yourself? They say yes immediately because they have the freedom to work for, I'm my own boss. Yes, we all love that. But would you do what you do for your business for someone else? Would someone else want to be hired to come work for you if they had to do what it is that you do? Will they work the same amount of hours? Will they take the pay that you have? You have the benefits, the time off. So you have to create a value system that absolutely makes sense. For us, when people come into our community, we all operate off the same values. Leadership, legacy, leadership, integrity, freedom, talent, team. This is where we align, and this is why people stay, because they understand that we're all operating off of the same value system. So what values has your company created that you live by, and as you continue to build your team, they can live by? What are the great values that people recognize in their business, and why? What are the values you admire in your favorite businesses, and why? What are the character traits you, your team, clients, or partners must have to work with them, and why? Build up your value system, and all of this is part of your purpose. This is the heartbeat. This is what's going to keep your business going. This is what's going to keep you going when things get hard. This is what's going to keep your team working for you and with you. Next one, y'all got that? Because you know we got to do this in a quick way. The next one is plan. Now you heard the great pastor before me talk about SMART plan. Y'all know about SMART? Specific, measurable, attainable. We're about to break it down now. This is what it looked like, that first S. This is how I break it down. Think about what your specific goal is. So now you understand your vision, where you're going. It's time to start breaking down that plan. So what are the things that you specifically have to do? So for me, for example, I said I need to launch this app. So the specific goal is I need to raise $25,000 to launch and test this prototype. That's a very specific goal. Now I'm going to go to the A in this SMART. Is that attainable? What do I have to do in order to actually make this happen? I got to apply for applicable grants of $5,000 or more. I may have to do family and friends crowdfunding for $10,000 or more. I may have to go for bank loans that's $10,000 or more. And I may be willing to bootstrap 50% of the capital needs, but you see how specific that is? Some of y'all be like, I need to raise $25,000. I'm gonna apply for that $1,000 I seen. And that's all you got. That's part of your plan. That's it. So you have to be very specific in order to see if it is realistic. So how much time do I have? Okay, so by April 30th, 2024, do I have to raise this money? I have done that. I've done it because I'm very specific about my goal. It's done. I came in knowing done before the actual time. How do you measure this? So a lot of us put stuff out there and we don't hold ourselves accountable on how it performs. We don't put measurables in place. So basically, I'm saying, here's my specific goal. This is what I have to do it. But how am I going to see if I am on path to actually achieve that? What are my key performance indicators? In this case, I have a minimum of 5 grant applications per month. Did I do that? Yes. I have to share my crowdfund link. Did I do that? Maybe I got to take out a small business line of credit. Did I do that? And I have to have the money to fund the first 50% of the prototype. So these are the things that help me measure whether or not I am on path to hit my goal. You guys following me? You follow me? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it realistic? Yes, it is. This is how you determine whether or not your goals that you set for yourself are realistic. This is the activity that you need to put in place. So you're like, I'm about to hit a mill this year. You have to say, what do I specifically need to do? How am I going to attain that? Who are the people I need to meet? What loans? How much business do I have to sell? Kiana broke down how much you have to make in a month for $1 million. She was like, anybody know this? I'm telling you, y'all. I lived it. I woke up every morning before I hit that first meal, like, okay, 82,300. Let me look at my book. Okay, 60,000 this month, 70,000 this month. I was on top of my numbers. I was living it. I was eating it. I was breathing it. And I still do to this day because I'm, on the long journey to the 10 figures, right? So how much money do I have to make? You have to have specific things for a plan. The process is answer how. Now, this is where everybody be kicking me, right? Because this is what you need to document. When you start talking about building and bringing in a team, you need to have your processes down. Step one, you have to identify what departments you have. Step two, you have to identify what task happens in those departments. Step three, you have to identify why those tasks happen. Step four, I don't know what happened. Step four, you have to identify when those tasks happen. And step five, you identify how detailing those steps, the steps necessary for that task. Step six, identify who is responsible for said task. So these are the things that you need to actually have happen. Identify your departments, human resources, sales, business development. Identify what tasks happen in those departments. Identify why those tasks happen. Identify when those tasks happen. Identify how detailing those steps, how to detail the steps necessary for that task, and then identify who is responsible for said task. Okay, I'm gonna skip through this. You can see in your workbook this example. They're trying to fix it. If you look in your workbook, I actually outline an example of what this looks like for doing discovery calls in my own business. This last one is people. You want to create avatars, get into the specifics of your client, your team, your partners, your sponsors. So this is an example of an avatar. You see how specific we get. This is Jada. She's 32. She's a female. She's married. She got 2 children. She's a VA. She's in Jamaica. And she's an intermediate level skills. This is an actual avatar from my own company for the Kivas that I bring in. It has a user description. It has her goals, what it is that she's doing. Who are your avatars? You should do this for your clients, your team, your partners, your sponsors. Who are you aligned so that when you go out and you're in this room and you're networking, you like, oh, you align with my avatar. You understand? And you're real intentional at that point about who you meet. If you were at the Legacy Talks last night, I went around and I knew who my avatars were for my coaching business, for example. And I spent time building and nurturing those relationships. Prosperity is the last one. This answers where we plan to land, where we measure success. So for example, the goal, I want to raise a total of $150,000 for the app development. In the middle, you see benchmarks. Right? These are the benchmarks that let me know that I'm on my way. I have 15,000 for my prototype, 5,000 for my market research, etc. And what milestones I've hit. And I break this down in the book with very specific examples. So I want to leave you all with this. When you are putting together your framework for having a solid foundation, you want to have these 5 P's. You want to have purpose. You want to know why you're doing what you're doing. You want to have a plan using the SMART goal methodology: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. You want to have processes which tell you how you're actually going to do it. People, who is going to do it, and the last prosperity, where you actually are going to land. And I promise you, if you go home today, not tomorrow, today, now, on a break, at lunch, and you start thinking through these things, you will see a significant difference in your business. Thank y'all.
Next legacy.
Are you searching for the perfect gift? Or do you just need a unique statement piece for yourself? Well, either way, Danaya Azure will help you out. What you need is the S4S jewelry collection by Danaya Azure for you. S4S stands for strictly for a stage. Stand out at your next photo or video shoot. Snag that magazine cover. Go from being a part-time extra to an actor or actress who stays booked. Or just be the talk of the town at every event. Danaya Design for You jewelry is handcrafted and Chicago made for men, women, and children. To start your collection, simply go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com.
Next legacy.
Yeah. Thank you, Teddy, man. Money, I ain't new to it. Money, I done blew through it, dummy. I don't do stupid, it's ugly, but I'm used to it. Wake up, pray up, look in that mirror. See I'm through losing. If ye shall know I'm by they fruits, I am too proven. New music, truth music, you gon' lose Judas. He too Brutus. Whoop the devil while chewing gum, and I'm out of gum. I'm Duke Nukem. I ain't take the mark, but word the mark. I had 2 Cubans. Shout out to Isabel, pray that you living well. Delivering blessings behind bars, I pray that you get your mail. Oh my God, I got bars too heavy for digi-scales. They say that God ain't alive, but I ain't gon' lie, that is alive from the pit of hell. Oh my God, I'm a God, got me strong as the citadel, no before God like the NFL. Ooh.
I am a brick, got God stamped on the front, making the muscle. Take a little nip at AAC, bet you it flip. Now you got crust, we make it move. You plant the seed, it ain't a need to witness it bubble. Go get you some Pringles, step on it twice. Freeze it next to the ice, and sell it as ruffles. We like the grooves, God on the side like whatever we choose. Ease our pain when we don't look like it, but our claw for lines like Rubik's Cube. Max, soon as evil moves, God hands get going like a gang truce. Facts, gotta go and see Caitlyn about the little girls, don't blame Bruce. I flow like holy water, Spotify out here like a stream do. By the way, you been a lame and every pimple up in your circle too. Yep, crippled Jesus, he peeped something and ran from your dudes. Why would you climb a mountain just to be tempted by the devil's shoe? I say.
Next legacy.